Well, thank you for joining me on Consider the Following. See these big cracks? See this big crack? You know where they came from? Cracks. It was formed when water got in there and freezes and it expands, split the rock apart, makes the crack get bigger. Happens over and over again, freezing and refreezing, and eventually the whole rock is split right open. And this is lichen. It's actually a plant. It's a fungus and algae that works on the rock, breaking it down, breaks it down. And take a look at this plant. Its roots are growing in there, and they're going to split the rock right open. And eventually, these big rocks get broken down into this fine cracks, and this process goes on all day, all the time. Rocks get broken down.
The Student Conservation Association program is a program for young. It's a program outdoors, and they're out here living outdoors and working outdoors. It's a program outdoors, and they're out here living outdoors and working outdoors.
This is the soil we've been using to fill in the social trails that have been made.
A social trail is like when you try to take shortcuts, and then everybody else will follow you, and the grass will start wearing out.
It's a program.
Should just be here to support everything down low.
So you can fill it up to put the gravel on top, because when the water comes in, it's gonna push the dirt through the dams right there. And so we're putting the dirt over here so it'll clog everything up, so it'll stay in place like solid ground.
It's a program.
Well, as you can see here, the soil that we're putting down is made out of
Cracks?
little bits of gravel and
The dirt.
matter.
Kind of what this whole process is about, is making the full cycle of keeping the plants going and the soil healthy.
We do this to repair the natural setting.
何？お前はもう死んでいる。
Trailways are basically just a passage for you to enjoy nature. The more you go off the trails, the more you're destroying nature.
Rocks rock. Each one has a different story to tell. That is, if rocks could talk. Like this rock. It's called a conglomerate because it's actually made of a bunch of different
Cracks?
rocks globbed together. This is sandstone. It breaks apart easily because it's just a collection of sand squished together into a stone.
Whoa.
Big rocks. See, soil comes from rocks. It always has. Soil is everywhere.
New soil bars. They're crunchy and they're natural. They're dirty all the way. Roll their dirty all the way. Roll their dirty all the way. Yes, new soil bars. The rockin' is candy of the day. Soil bars, soil bars, soil bars. 100% natural rocks and soil. Try one today. Universal Pictures proudly presents Rocky XXXVII. Don't take it for granted.
See these little pits? These are bubbles that came out of little pits of a volcano. See the pits in this rock? Well, they started out as bubbles in a volcano. Volcano. See the pits in this rock? Well, they started out as bubbles in a volcano. Yeah, this rock was once a pits. Are millions of years and tons and tons of pressure per square meter. See, they're both made of carbon. The carbon in this charcoal absorbs almost all the light that hits it. It's black. But the carbon in this diamond that's been crushed into hot, molten rock deep inside the earth has turned into this beautiful, clear gem that sends light bouncing in all these directions. That's why humans have coveted diamonds for centuries, for its fiery beauty and hardness.
You can make crystals using a lid from a large jar, some construction paper, some scissors, some hot water, and some Epsom salt. You can find Epsom salt at almost any drugstore.
Okay.
First, cut the construction paper so it fits inside the lid. There. Now put some Epsom salt in some hot water. Looks like I need a little bit more water. Now stir it. Now pour some of the Epsom salt water into the lid. Make sure it just barely covers the construction paper. Now, let it sit for about a day. Cool. See? Crystals form because the molecules in the Epsom salt move toward each other As the water evaporated, they formed patterns, just like rocks. See? It's crystal clear.
So you see, rocks are your friend!
Rocks are formed in many different ways. I want to talk about them if that's okay. Made by pressure, heat, and water, we rock hard, but rocks rock harder. Igneous rocks form inside the ground, made when melted rocks cool down. Lava, pumice, scraping granite, all hard rocks sitting on this planet. Made by pressure, heat, and water, we rock hard, but rocks rock harder. Heat and pressure get their kicks, making rocks go metamorphic. Goes down deep inside the earth, the hard, hard place to have your birth. Sedimentary rocks are made from dust, like sandstone, color, gray, and rust. Wind and water break them down, cut big canyons in the ground. Made from pressure, heat, and water, we rock hard, but rocks rock harder. But rocks rock harder.
See, all the rocks in the world used to be melted rocks, what we call molten rocks. Molten. Like this molten rock in here. And you see the bubble on top? It's from the heat. It's just like the rocks that come out of volcanoes. Rocks like this, rocks like this, rocks like these. See these pits? They were formed by bubbles and liquid rock that came out of pits. Now sometimes the rock from volcanoes will come up onto the Earth's pits surface. Now when these rocks get on the Earth's pits, they push other pits down. It pushes down on the layers below. Push the old pits down, push them down, and they'll squeeze together and swirl around. And when they blend together, they form a new type of pit. This is dirt, broken down rocks. Now when microscopic living things get in it, it's pits